The sun's going down, so there's no better time to talk about the three lesser lights. So let's knock 3 times and let's get into this. Good evening, brethren. It's Z again with Observant Freemason, and I've been doing a lot of reading recently. I've recently started in my quest for further enlightenment. I have a year-long Bible study that I'm doing. And I was in the book of Exodus and read something that was really awesome, and I thought I'd share it with you guys and why I think it pertains a lot to Masonry and more especially Worshipful Masters. So the chapter that I'm talking about is Exodus 34. This is where Moses has ascended back up Mount Sinai after having brought down the 10 Commandments, seeing Aaron and the Israelites worshiping the golden calf, Moses breaking those tablets and then going back up again and communing with the Lord. And in there, we get to verse 29, and I'm going to read that for you real quick, okay? As Moses descended from Mount Sinai with the 2 tablets of the testimony in his hands as he descended the mountain, he did not realize that the skin of his face shone as a result of his speaking with the Lord. And I thought, wow, that's a really powerful verse. And I thought about how this applies to Masonry. So this is my thought. First, let me tell you why I'm actually thinking about this. A couple months ago, I went to a lecture about the 3 lesser lights, and this brother did a fantastic job in providing different ideas as to why the 3 lesser lights are there and what they mean. More importantly, he focused on the Master of the Lodge. And in that, he kind of started talking a little bit within the 3 lesser lights that the sun represents order and that the moon represents chaos. And it's kind of the job of the Worshipful Master to, when there's chaos, to bring back order, but when there's order, to allow a little bit of chaos. You can't have one without the other. That's also the difference between walking through consciousness and unconsciousness, and letting the mind dream and things along those lines. Also going so far as to say, with Mercury or Hermes was the messenger between the realms, which is what the Worshipful Master is supposed to do. So he's acting as that messenger between consciousness and unconsciousness. He went into a really good conversation about alchemy, and that the sun and the moon were representing Hermes and Aphrodite, and that the philosophy stone was the 3rd light, which is used, if you haven't known the Philosopher's Stone, to turning base metals into gold or providing immortality, which again is very symbolic, almost, if you want to think of what the Worshipful Master's job is to take the base things that we are and to refine us and make us gold and valuable, right? Every Worshipful Master who's leading his lodge is helping his lodge to become better men. And through that, as we become better men, we live better, more moral lives, so that eventually we can achieve that sort of little level of immortality, where we can ascend into the celestial lodge above, right? The Worshipful Master doesn't provide that, but maybe help provide ways to understand how to achieve that, right? Because remember, Freemasonry does not provide salvation at all. There's nothing, it's not a religion, it doesn't provide salvation. But it does encourage you to take a look at your books and your holy scriptures and find that for you. That's what I was doing when I read Exodus. So when I was reading Exodus, I thought about that for a moment and thought, how awesome is it to think of Moses speaking with God, and because of that, his face shone. So I, for a moment, started thinking about maybe that's why the Worshipful Master is one of the 3 lesser lights. Now, we kind of know about the sun, we kind of know about the moon, and we can totally understand why they're while they're the lesser lights, right? We actually see them. We see the reflection of the sun off of it. The night, the moon provides us light at night. The sun provides us light during the day. But how does the Worshipful Master provide light, right? There's part of the answer, at least in my belief structure. By that I mean, Moses communed with God and his skin shone. I cannot commune with God the way Moses did, but I can commune with God when I'm searching my holy scriptures and taking that time to talk with God through my prayers, through my readings, through my understandings of trying to analyze what's happening. When I do that, I personally feel like I have a much brighter-ish type personality, which I know seems kind of odd for some of you that know me and are sitting here listening. He's not a real bright personality. But I can tell you that over the past 2 or 3 months since I've been doing my readings, I have definitely felt a difference in just the way that I approach things. Now, one of the other things I think is really interesting about this is that if we take a look back at what's actually occurring, Moses is sitting there and God is telling them what not to do. Do not make treaty with inhabitants of the land. Do not cast images. Observe the festival of the unleavened bread. The firstborn male of the womb belongs to me. God is giving Moses the instructions for helping the Israelites. If I read my Bible, God should be giving me the instructions for me to help my lodge, right? Excuse me. And in the same chapter, 34, in the verse 10, it said, "And the Lord responded, look, I am making a covenant. In the presence of all your people, I will perform wonders that have never been done in the whole earth or in any nation. All the people you live among will see the Lord's work, for what I am doing with you is awe-inspiring." Imagine if we as worshipful masters always had that covenant with God, and then all of the people that we live with were awed by our actions. Wouldn't that be fantastic? Not only just for our Masonic lodge, and maybe if we're awe-inspiring in the way we do things, other men want to come and be a part of us. But remember that everyone that lives among us, that's not just my family, that's not just my lodge, but my community at large. That is such a powerful statement to say that when we commune with God, the works that he does are awe-inspiring. And when I am awe-inspired and I take those words back to my lodge, like Moses is taking it back to the Israelites, that my face hopefully shines because of the glory of God that I'm reading, like Moses' face shone when he was in the presence of God. And that is why I think we as worshipful masters are truly a lesser light, because if we're communing with God, our face will shine just like Moses did. So, to all of my worshipful masters and all of the guys that are trying to become worshipful masters, and to every other master mason, fellow craft, entered apprentice, everyone that's within our Masonic family, take the time, if you can, make the time, really, read your holy scriptures, no matter what religion you are. Clearly, this one is a little bit more Christian-based in this video, but whether you're practicing any other religion, commune and take time to read what your God has set forth for you. And let your face shine because of the power and the glory that you're in. And then take that back to your family, your lodge, and your community, and let them be awe-inspired by the work that you're doing. So until next time, stay fervent.